How to become a lark. Lark. It is good to get up before dawn. Such a habit contributes to health, wealth, and wisdom. Aristotle. Are larks born or made? In my case, formation definitely took place. In my early 20s, I rarely went to bed before midnight and almost always got up late. I usually didn't start my business until after lunch. But after a while, I couldn't help but notice the clear correlation between success and getting up early, even in my personal life. On the rare occasions when I got up early, my productivity was almost always higher, not only in the morning, but throughout the day. Besides, I was in a great mood. As a person who actively pursues my goals, I decided to develop the habit of getting up early. I just set my alarm for 5 a.m. and got up just before noon. I tried again and again, but didn't get very far each time. I must not have been born with the early bird gene, I thought. When my alarm clock started ringing, my first thought was to stop this terrible noise and go back to sleep. I postponed further attempts indefinitely, but one day, after some research on the problem, I came to the conclusion that I was approaching it from the wrong side. As soon as I applied new ideas, I naturally became an early bird. It's hard to become a morning person with the wrong strategy. At the same time, with the right strategy, it is relatively easy. The most common wrong strategy is this. You think that if you need to get up earlier, then you need to go to bed earlier. Based on this, you determine how much sleep you are now, then you just shift everything by a few hours. If you now sleep from midnight to 8, it is assumed that you will now go to bed at 10 p.m. and get up at 6 a.m. Sounds very reasonable, but usually nothing comes of it. There are two main theories about sleep schedules. According to the first, you need to go to bed and get up every day at the same time. It's like limiting yourself to an alarm clock on each side. You try to sleep at the same hours every night. It seems to fit modern society. We need predictability and routines. And we need to get enough rest. The second theory is to listen to your body. Go to bed when you're tired and get up when you wake up naturally. This approach is based on biology. Our bodies know how much we need to rest, and therefore we must listen to them. Through trial and error, I have found that neither of these two theories taken individually is optimal. And neither is suitable if you need maximum productivity. That's why. If you sleep at certain hours, sometimes you will go to bed not too tired. If it takes more than 5 minutes to fall asleep, you are not tired enough. You're wasting time lying on the bed and not falling asleep. Another problem is the assumption that you need the same number of hours of sleep each night. This assumption is false. The amount of sleep needed varies from day to day. If you begin to sleep based on observations of your body, most likely you will sleep more than you actually need, in some cases much more, about 10 to 15 hours a week, full-time equivalent. Many people who follow this approach sleep 8 hours or more each night, usually too much. In addition, surprises are possible in the morning if you get up at different times. And due to the fact that our natural rhythms do not always coincide with the daily cycle, the time of sleep can begin to shift. For me, the best solution was to combine both approaches. It's very simple, and many early birds don't even think about it, but for me it was an important achievement. The solution is that I go to bed when, and only when, I want to sleep, and get up at a certain time every 7 days a week. It turns out that I always get up at the same time. In my case it is 5 o'clock in the morning, but I fall asleep every night in a different way. I go to bed when I'm already too sleepy to stay awake. As a test, I usually read a book. If, after reading 1 or 2 pages, I start to doze off, then I'm ready for sleep. In most cases, lying in bed, I fall asleep in 3 minutes. I lie down, make myself comfortable and fall asleep instantly. Sometimes I go to bed at 21:30, other days I don't sleep until midnight. Most often I go to bed at 22 to 23 hours. If I don't really want to sleep, I will stay awake as long as I can keep my eyes open. Reading is a great activity for this time. It clearly shows when I'm already sleepy enough. When my alarm goes off in the morning, I turn it off, stretch for a few seconds, and get up. I don't think about it. I realize that the longer I get up, the sooner I will try to get back to sleep. Therefore, I do not allow myself any reasoning that it would be possible to sleep more when the alarm clock rang. Even if I want to sleep, I still get up immediately. After a few days of using this approach, I found that my sleep schedule was in tune with my natural rhythm. If I don't get enough sleep one night, the next night I will want to sleep earlier and sleep longer. And if I have an excess of energy, and I'm not tired, then I will sleep less. My body has learned to knock me out at the right moment because it knows that I always get up at the same time, and this time is not negotiable. Side effect. On average, I sleep almost 90 minutes less at night, but I feel better rested because sleep lasts almost the entire time I'm in bed. I realized that most people who suffer from insomnia are those who go to bed without being sleepy. If you can't fall asleep quickly, get up and stay awake for a while. Resist sleep until the body begins to produce hormones that turn off consciousness. If you go to bed when you really feel like it and get up at a certain time, you will get rid of insomnia. The first night you stay late, but you fall asleep right away. During the day, you may feel tired because you got up early and slept little, but after work you will want to go to bed early the next night. After a few days, you will get used to going to bed at about the same time and falling asleep instantly. So, if you want to become a lark, or just learn how to manage your sleep, here's a simple tip. You need to go to bed only when you can no longer be awake, and get up every morning at the same time.